Welcome to We Might Be Nerds, a podcast about everything from entertainment and technology to science and history. I'm Dylan Critchfield.
And I'm Kyle Montgomery.
I'm Sarah Critchfield.
And I'm Jacob Montgomery.
The episode's late because we didn't have the chance to record till now, but that's alright. Life happens. We're just going to keep on trucking. Real quick at the top of the episode, do you want to say we did do the stream of the Horrorland game? Since it's been a while since we did the stream, how do you guys feel about the game?
It was shorter than I expected.
Yeah,
and we solved, the key puzzles pretty quickly. Didn't explore everything, only got 48 of 777 coins, so didn't do so hot.
It was basically a blind speed run of the game.
Mm-hmm.
In which Sarah solved most of the puzzles very quickly, if we're being honest.
I mean,
Sorry?
Most games back then weren't really all that long anyway, especially if they had that kind of, production value.
Yeah.
I mean, take Myst, for example. You could beat that in a day.
Yeah, considering how much, video was on it, and it was a CD-ROM. Yeah.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been that long.
So yeah, we blew through that game. It's about a 2-hour VOD after all said and done, so you can find that on our YouTube channel. But enough about last episode's topics. What are we going to talk about today, guys?
All sorts of stuff.
Hopefully some fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have some fun.
F-U-N.
F-U.
And... So...
All right, we'll edit that out. I'm just kidding.
No, everything stays in. It's all canon.
Every time you say,
canon.
We'll edit that out, I
it?
will refuse to edit out.
Oh, I know. That's why I said
I'll
it.
highlight it with a big echo.
Echo, echo, echo. Say it in a round.
Fun.
Fun.
Okay. Edit this out.
Combo breaker.
Pause. Continue.
Yes.
Insert coin to continue.
That's a ripoff.
Ooh. Don't sell yourself short. Anyway.
This is a weird energy. Just roll with it.
Let's go.
So, welcome to 15th month of 2020, to steal that from Jake.
Whatever you do, just don't call it the paniversary, okay?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
No. Okay.
Say pandaversary? Where's those pandas?
Pandaversary's fine.
Oh,
that's cute.
Pandaversary is fun. I almost called it pandiversity, which is a different thing entirely.
Mm-hmm.
It's like super diversity.
It's the prequel. The prequel to Pandas Inc.
I hate how close you guys are to what I was actually going to bring up without me actually bringing it up.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Perfect.
Oh.
Yes.
Nice.
Get into it.
Yes,
Get
perfect.
into it.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, we've all heard just about everything about pandemic, coronavirus, yada yada. It is serious. Please take it seriously. However, I'm not going to take it seriously for a minute. Spoiler alert.
Safe place.
Yes. So, we're all pretty much at different stages of fatigue from the pandemic. And I heard from one of my besties yesterday something that was very interesting to me. Now, my bestie's in a whole bunch of different art circles, and something her artists are doing to kind of lessen the sting of the pandemic is anytime they mention the pandemic, they replace the word pandemic with another P word. You don't have to make that gross, although I'm sure a lot of us did already, but anytime you mention it, you just throw a different word there, kind of like a Mad Lib almost, and it can make something serious a lot easier to take. So it was an interesting coping mechanism, such as, wait, you would do that during a pancreas? Or...
during the pasta.
Oh, I had a really good one. Where'd it go? No, come back!
The peanut!
But yeah, just like we're talking, like, oh, I'm so tired of this panda.
I
Yeah.
am so tired of this panda. But
I'm just waiting for this Presbyterian to be over.
I am also waiting for that. And this pipsqueak has taken too much from all of us. And only together can we stop the pedestrian of 2020.
Oh my gosh, Sarah's standing up. She's moving her arms wildly.
We can fight parallax together.
Ooh.
But it was just a fun and interesting coping mechanism.
We must end the carnival virus. No, that's too close.
The carnival.
Nope,
We must end the carnivals.
Don't go to a carnival. Don't go on a carnival cruise. Don't pass go. All that.
Hey, you gotta wear a mask, otherwise you'll catch clown.
Ew, I don't want to catch a clown.
I don't want it. No Cambodia for me. No, sir. No crawdads. No.
No, I don't think I want Colombia, thank you.
No Columbia.
No.
We're gonna get our conga shot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get my Conga 19 vaccine.
Conga 19. Sounds like a Lou Bega song.
It'll make you dance.
Conga number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 19. A little
Yeah,
bit.
he said Lou Bega song like he
fucking
has
la
more
la.
than one. He only has one song.
He's just got one. He just adds more numbers to it.
That is a fun technique. I was looking to see if there's like a word, like if that concept has a name, and
I couldn't
can't
find anything. I looked earlier too, and
Yeah, I can't find anything in my searches, but it is a fun little coping mechanism.
I mean, it's just substitution, really.
It is
Yeah.
substitution. I didn't know if there was a name for the specific replacing a word with another word that has the same letter at the start. But Google's giving me nothing.
Darn you, Google. You're supposed to help us.
No, it just sits there and steals your information.
Uh-oh.
Darn it, Google.
And listens to you through your phone.
Darn
are you
Darn it
listening
again,
now,
Google.
Google? We're talking about you.
Google listens through your phone.
But
Amazon listens to you through their stuff, and
Well, that's not where I was going here.
the FBI just listens to you
You've
everywhere.
Now we're sad.
diverted a little bit.
all right, back to Castanets. Castanet
But no.
19.
I just thought that was a neat little thing, since we're all a little burnt out on everything that might bring a smile to somebody.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear about canasta anymore.
I like canasta,
I
Thank
know.
you. but I am a little tired of hearing about pinochle.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, wait, no, it's castanets. That's a different thing. Never mind.
Well, I, for one, cannot wait for this Parcheesi to be over.
I agree, Z.
Okay, I just Googled really quick, and it's not exactly the same, but there is a word, malaprop, which is the mistaken use of a word in place of a similar sounding one, often with unintentionally amusing effect.
So kind of
It's so close.
Can you repeat that term again?
malaprop.
Malaprop, yeah.
I have
Malaprop.
heard that.
Malaprop.
Malaprop. That's a fun
Malaprop.
word.
The more you know.
Because, yeah,
Yes.
I was trying to look up what the word for what they do in the movie Johnny Dangerously. You guys familiar with that movie?
I am.
No.
I've heard of it,
I don't
haven't
know.
seen it.
They don't,
Oh, man.
yeah.
It's pouring
They don't
outside.
like, yeah. Because what do they do on that? Like, instead of like cussing, they'll say like sunny beaches. You know, like when you replace like something that sounds like a swear word, but it's not. So I think
Yeah,
Life's a
yeah.
beach.
that's close.
Yes,
But
That's like what kids do a lot. Like if you see a kid learns a new word and they think it means one thing, but it's totally different, and they'll just use it, and it's hilarious. Yeah, that's malaprop.
yeah, like I've heard
Probably
like
the most common form of it.
a kid just say pickles every time something went wrong.
Oh,
Pickles or mushroom.
Mushroom.
Oh, peanuts.
Oh God.
Oh, pistachio.
Nuts. Oh, pistachios.
Uh-oh, pistachio.
Oh, that is fun information. Malaprop.
Yes, the fine art of malaprop.
Malaprop. And it's something that starts with the same letter, right?
No, it doesn't have to be.
It just has similar sounding.
Oh, it's just you're just inserting I gotcha.
Similar sounding, yeah.
That's pretty close.
But yeah, same first letter would be appropriate usually.
Well, yeah, for similar sound. Yeah, that makes sense. That tracks.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
Gotcha.
Can't really do it in emails. I wish I could. Like, sorry, we are currently not taking calls because of the pancreas.
Just imagine receiving that email. What the heck are they talking about? A pinochle. They've got a pinochle game going on, and that's why they're not answering my emails? What the heck is this?
Yes.
Interesting priorities. I think we need to check out their office. Are they up to snuff to do their jobs?
No, they're just letting Cortana write their emails.
Autocorrect.
Shh, you'll wake up Cortana. Shh.
You're getting too close to the truth.
Nobody heard that.
Go back to Halo, Cortana.
Google did.
Jake does all his own emails.
Fast forward to 3021, where all that's left is just computers, and it's Alexa, Google Assistant, and Cortana just emailing each other back and forth forever.
And it's only 3 of them. It's just
and it's all in malaprop.
Siri's in the corner, nobody's talking to Siri.
The rest of the world, and then just one point where there's 3 of them, just like right there.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, Jake. Apple has this thing about privacy, so yeah, Siri probably won't want to deal with their stuff.
Privacy and, proprietary
That's
software and hardware. Yep.
It's just using a different email standard.
It's a lot of P-words here.
P-mail.
P-mail.
That's Apple. It's going to be A-mail.
I got a mail. But where did you get your mail? Was it in the mail? No, it was in my A mailbox. What? What?
What do you mean a mailbox? Of course you get it in a mailbox. What the heck are you talking about?
No, my A mailbox, not a mailbox, my A mailbox.
A battery.
I don't understand.
E-I-O-U.
AA battery.
My C mail. C for canasta.
Right.
I don't want to think about the pinochle anymore, or I guess we could just end the pandemic anymore. So let's rewind a couple years.
He said the word. No.
It's like reverse Pee Wee Herman. You shouldn't have said the secret word.
Boo.
It's all ogre now.
It's like we're the knights who say "knee," or the knights who do not listen to the word pandemic.
The knights who say "eki eki eki patang whoop boing."
All right, so this is kind of a in case you missed it thing.
Okay, insert the sound effect in case you missed it.
In case you missed it. Dun, 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 dun. Back in late 2015, at the Microsoft headquarters in Redmond, Washington, Microsoft set the world record for the world's quietest place.
Really?
Yes, they did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've seen a lot of things about, like, truly silent rooms, and it would have been around that time frame, but is it Microsoft that did that?
It is Microsoft that made the best version of it.
Really?
They did, by far, the most research in constructing the room that they did. All right, so basically this thing is kind of like going to a sound studio, except this one is classified as an anechoic chamber. So A-N-E-C-H-O-I-C. So like without echoes. Chamber. And that's a room that is designed to block any and all exterior noise. And there are 6 distinct concrete layers that can seal this middle room. Each of those is a foot thick concrete. And the center room floats on its own spring isolated foundation, which isolates any subterranean vibrations. And the doors are kind of pressure sealed.
But it still has, like, airflow in and out, right?
Yes, it does. It has specifically designed air conditioning units. And it's also got, like, inside there are light fixtures and stuff. They don't buzz at all. They have that specially designed AC unit. They have a sprinkler system inside that is made to not vibrate. Like, I mean, they did a lot of work with this thing. And it honestly took them more than half a year to find a location that was going to work for them. Just to find the location to build this thing. And they spent another 2 years designing and building this thing after finding that location.
My first question, as soon as you mentioned 6 layers of foot-thick concrete, is this in an area with any seismic activity? Because that is not where I want to be in an earthquake. That would make me a pancake if that crumbled.
Well, Redmond is, like, on the East Coast. That's not very prone to seismic activity, I don't think.
No, not directly there.
I mean, was that one of their considerations in picking the site of this?
I think it was trying to find a location that was close to their headquarters that would still work. Like, the most viable space near where their headquarters was. And it just happened to be a good place they found. But yeah, so nearly 4 years of designing and building this building. And this kind of level of attention helped Microsoft achieve a record-shattering decimal reading. It was negative 20.35 decibels. And that is weighted specifically for human hearing. Now, to put that in perspective...
Negative decibels?
Yes, negative decibels. That is, the limit of human hearing would be 0 if it is weighted for human hearing.
Okay.
To put that in perspective, 30 decibels is the sound of someone whispering. 10 is the standard decibel reading for just ambient breathing. 0 is the limit of human hearing.
Okay.
And previous record, another anechoic chamber achieved negative 13 dB at Orfield Labs in Minneapolis.
So is this one of those rooms where, like, I mean, I've read about anechoic chambers before, long time ago. Mm-hmm. I read, like, an experience of a person who was inside one, and basically you have to be doing something in there. Otherwise, you will literally go insane because you'll be able to hear your own heartbeat and the blood flowing through your body and your bones creaking as you move.
That's exactly...
Like, it's a serious challenge just to stay in there for more than even 2 minutes straight.
Yep, that's what I heard as well. I heard that some people, they have to leave within a few minutes, and they're just so unsettled by just... It feels like the air is sucked out of the room. There's just a lack of air pressure that you're normally accustomed to when you're in a room. Because if you just stay quiet and listen to the room, there's a lot of noise going on. But it's just normal. It's still our standard of silence. But true silence is like, normally your eardrums are vibrating all the time. And this is one of the few situations where your ears are not vibrating at all, except for what's happening with your body. Like, it's a unique experience that can really unsettle some people. According to, I believe it was Microsoft that had one guy in there, and he actually lasted over 10 minutes. That was the most that they had ever seen. That was the longest they'd ever seen someone actually stay in the room.
Nope, don't like that. Nope.
All right, and this reading, negative 20.35 decibels, that is only 4 decibels softer than the theory that you can hear air molecules collide. It is only 4 decibels louder than air molecules colliding. That's it. It's
dang.
So what? That sounds like negative 29. You can use it like 25.
It's around. Oh no, that's negative 20.35 is the room.
Oh, so
and so right around 24, negative 24 dB is the theoretical point where you can hear air molecules collide with each other.
Huh. So I guess it's kind of like the visible light spectrum.
Yeah.
Like you get like to a certain amount of like hertz, and then it's like ultraviolet to where our human eyes can't see. I guess the 0 is just the point where we can't hear it anymore.
Yeah, there's a lack of perception.
Yeah, it's like pitch. It's like how we have a limited range of pitch that we can hear. 20 hertz being the lowest, and somewhere around 20,000 hertz being the average limitation for height of frequency, except in terms of loudness.
Right.
Like, because if we get over X amount of loudness, our eardrums explode. It's the exact opposite of that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's so quiet where the only thing you can hear is the stuff that you can hear through, like, bone and body sound conduction. You're not hearing sound through the air.
Yeah.
So the only place your eardrums can get vibration from is your own body.
So I'm sure you're going to get to it, Kyle, but like, what were they trying to figure out from this, like, research and building this place?
That was actually my first question. Like, why would you really need a room that is this quiet? And it is used to test noises that are emitted from some of their products. I know that some of the Xboxes were produced in there. The Surface tablets were produced in this room as well, like tested in this room. Also, whenever they put a mouse, like a little trackpad with a mouse or something like that, and the keyboards on their laptops, they want to make sure that the sound is a certain sound, because there is a certain amount of sound design that goes into that to make for a more like a pleasurable experience, like listening experience, like there, so that like the
haptics and all that.
Yeah, exactly. I was losing my word there, but yes, yeah, basically that. Plus, also, one of the things explained was sometimes little noises are emitted from the way that capacitors are arranged on a motherboard.
Oh, yeah.
And they can actually detect that kind of stuff in the room, even if it's at very low levels. So then they know that they need to change the position of those capacitors so that they kind of cancel out the noises.
Because if you're getting that kind of noise, you have electromagnetic interference on the board itself, and that's going to cause a higher chance of failure, or EMF can cause a lot of problems on computer circuitry because that stuff's sensitive as it is.
Mm-hmm.
But like in terms of like a motherboard, that kind of EMF can cause like a blue screen, or cause hardware failures or crashes.
Exactly.
That are of course undesirable for operation. Back to the sound design thing real quick. It's basically the same principle of like why some folks get a mechanical keyboard.
Exactly.
Because it has it has a certain feel, depending on the types of switches, or B, it makes a certain sound when you click that is more satisfying part of the typing experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's both tactile and auditory. But it's I can see where a chamber like that, where you can hear the fullness of that sound, would be useful for designing mechanical things to make a sound a certain way.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm just glad to hear that this room serves a purpose, not just driving people mad.
It's not just for the purpose of breaking a world record. It just happens to be designed so well that it shatters it. I mean, that's more than 7 dB difference. That's you can do a lot with that.
Like, what is like do they like list out like the tool they use to measure like the decibels in the room?
I don't think they do, but usually you can just what is that kind of program called?
Spectrum analyzer?
The spectrum analyzer. Yeah, sorry. I actually have one of these programs on my laptop. Let me take a quick look to see if I can find what it's called.
Yeah, I was just like interested in like what it's called, and then like what the limit on those devices are as far as detecting decibels.
Yeah, because detection, like relative to human hearing, what they can detect is also relevant. Because if they can detect quieter than that room can get down to, that's also interesting. Well, I guess you really wouldn't have a way to test how low it can go unless you have an environment that's that low.
Yeah, just like theoretically should be able to read this low.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you have a calibration point, that should just be a good basis of doing your measuring. And then the rest of it should just be handled in hardware and software. But yeah, basically it's just a spectrum analyzer. Mm-hmm. Where you use a certain type of microphone to read the room. It just kind of sits in the middle of a certain part of a room.
Gotcha.
And you just keep it quiet. You take a measurement, and there it is.
Neat.
And they took 3 different measurements and averaged those out to get that total.
Wow.
Also, as an audio, like a pro audio guy, some of the videos I watched were absolutely crazy. And I loved how for every single one of them, the person that was talking inside that room was about 5 feet away from the microphone, and you could hear them as if I was just like right up on a microphone. Like,
that's insane.
It's really crazy.
No. Yeah.
But yeah,
weird.
definitely the more you move away, it's not as if it gets more echoey and it gets more bleedy or it feels like, you're moving like you're at a distance. You just start getting softer because there's so much absorption paneling that's around you. If you spin around, you sound like
Nice.
Some of those videos have a person just spinning around and doing that. Like, it's a fun chamber, but it does seem to serve a very important purpose for Microsoft. So I thought that was a really fascinating thing, and I can't believe that I'm 5 years too late to this one. So
yeah, you being the audio professional of the crew, like I can't believe you didn't hear about that before either.
But I'm glad I know now.
Can you imagine, like, just sitting in that room and trying to have a conversation? Like, I feel like even though you'd hear the people who you're, like, sitting, 6 feet from or whatever, like, you would be distracted when not speaking by the sound of yourself still. I just wonder what that experience would be like. I don't want to do it, mind you, because that sounds absolutely terrifying. I don't want to hear every noise that my body is emitting that I can't normally hear thanks to, just ambient noise. But,
well, I doubt your conversation would be very productive either. You'd have to learn, like, sign language. Use signs.
I mean,
well, no, you'd be able to hear. You just wouldn't leave the room.
It would sound like you are talking directly into someone else's ear. That's how it would sound.
Oh, that'd be
worse.
No kind of distortion or echoing or, like you said, bleeding. Yeah,
no, there's no spatial cues at all.
Oh no, so you'd know exactly what your own voice sounds like.
Oh,
now, that's a terrifying thought. No thanks.
I live that nightmare every episode.
No, you saw the bone conduction in your own head. So, if you recorded it, though, you'd know exactly what your voice sounds like, and that's almost something I don't want the answer to either.
No, so I'll post some of these videos. I'll have some of those links available in the show notes. But they're really fun to watch. So enjoy.
Yeah. It's just a weird thing to think about. Yeah, because like you're talking like you can never have like absolute negative sound. Just like you can't never have like absolute zero, because like as long as something exists, it's like giving off some type of energy, which would be like heat and sound and light.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, or causing some sort of distortion in air pressure.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's interesting. You wouldn't think Microsoft. You'd think like some kind of like
an audio lab. Yeah,
microphone manufacturer, audio lab.
Yeah,
or like
someone like
MIT
Blue
or something.
Or like
Sure, microphones out of Niles, Illinois, at one time did hold the record. They had a studio of their own for testing, but I mean, it had been broken many, 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 many times after that.
Well, apparently there is there's an anechoic chamber company in Elk Grove Village, Illinois, if we want to go up near Chicago and experience that. I can't find like a chamber that you can like go to though and use it. Anyway,
I know. I feel like that would be like popular around Halloween to like scare yourself. We didn't do anything to this room to make it scary.
Honestly, that would probably do very well, but it would be probably just impossibly expensive to maintain. It wouldn't be worth the.
No.
Well, that would be like a feature of haunted houses.
Right.
Have to pass through one of these chambers, but they have it in total darkness as well, so you just have no idea. And all you can hear is yourself.
No. That would mess me right up.
Yep.
So it sounds like a good application of it.
It does, actually, yes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's sensory deprivation.
Yeah. Or it's like deprivation and overload at the same time.
Yeah, I think that's more of the thing is like you're being deprived of ambient sound, so you hear all the sounds inside yourself that you're not used to being able to hear.
Gets excited. Yeah.
You hear your breakfast in your stomach.
Like, it would just be an assault of new sounds, I would imagine. Like, the heartbeat you would recognize, but everything else you'd be able to hear would probably be fairly foreign and an assault of
Disorienting.
foreign noises. Yeah, disorienting. I mean, does it make people like sick? Does it like mess with your equilibrium with your eardrums not vibrating?
I couldn't imagine so, because that's really based upon air pressure.
But you said the air pressure is different in this chamber.
Yeah, the air pressure, I don't think the air pressure is necessarily different. It's just the way that the air pressure reacts to outside things, because as soon as you talk, you create a difference in the air pressure. Like,
right.
So you can, like, physically feel your sound waves?
I wouldn't be able to confirm yes or no, but I would think, yeah, you probably could.
Okay, now
like,
you caught my interest.
You'd probably at least be more aware of it. Yeah.
Just like shout at someone's and they feel the vibrations. Oh.
I mean, it's like going to a rock concert, you know?
And it's like talking directly into their ear, you may burst their eardrums.
Well, not with all the absorption in the room, though, because, like, the shout is made louder by sound reflection. Hey, this is all just baseless conjecture.
Yeah, because without a sound bouncing around and hitting itself and sometimes multiplying, sometimes canceling, you know, it's not really going to get any louder than it is just coming straight out of your mouth. So, I mean, yeah, you're right. It probably wouldn't be super loud unless you're actually just screaming directly into someone's ear, because the big factor for that one is just proximity inside that room.
Yeah, but like if, like, let's say you and I are 10 feet apart and I just like shout, like a sustained shout, like, and you could feel the vibration. That's weird and interesting to me.
So we need to find one of these that we can visit. And the four of us test this out.
Like I said, up near Chicago, they've got a manufacturing. I'd imagine they have a demo room. We can find out.
Quite possible. I mean, if you're going to sell them, you know. Yeah. Or we build our own. I'm just kidding. No.
That's way too expensive.
DIY.
No thanks.
Just pour some concrete in the back in the shape of a box and cover that bad boy.
Put that box inside of another box, inside of another box.
Sounds like a coffin.
Another box.
Well, see, I can get these sound dampening panels that are a foot for about $1 each. So let's just get a room and start layering it in these and see how quiet it gets.
Yep. I mean, the room itself has like those, but very, 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 very big.
Like they're very
like scaled
deep
up.
in the angles that they protrude to absorb sound, and they're made of like a felt material. They're made of something very soft. Yes.
Yeah, they're not necessarily the foam that you experience with just these normal sound dampening panels. Yeah, it's a little more of a stiff thing, but very absorbent.
The ones I've seen look like felt. Coated like cardboard or something. Like something that has a lot of layers of jaggedness to it, because that's absorbs sound very well.
So they just put shag carpet on the walls.
Hey, if it works.
Recycling.
It's going to be so ugly, but yeah,
Welcome to the quietest, most 70s room ever.
Hey, function over form.
Absolutely.
It's the grooviest room ever.
Groovy.
Or more like the anti-grooviest, because you're not going to be able to...
Then not so groovy.
You can't vibe because none of the vibes are reflecting.
I can't vibe because none of the vibes are
I can get in touch with my inner self. Gotta bring your own vibes.
Bring your own vibes.
It's harsh and my mellow man.
Yes.
So speaking of Microsoft, we all saw the news earlier today about, maybe you didn't, but we're recording this on Tuesday, the 23rd of March, 2021. Today it was announced that Microsoft is allegedly in talks to acquire Discord, the very voice and video chat app that we use to record this podcast. And this isn't the first time Microsoft has tried to acquire a video voice chat application. This is actually the third time. First, there was MSN Messenger, which Microsoft killed. Then there was Skype, which Microsoft is killing because they're largely replacing it with Teams. And now they're in talks to acquire Discord. How are we feeling?
Don't touch my Discord.
Yeah.
unsolicited Discord purchase.
Right.
Yeah.
Please.
I mean, first thing was like I was just surprised at how much they were going to, or the number being thrown around, how much it was worth, like $10 billion.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's more than they bought
a lot.
Mojang for like Minecraft. I think they only spent $4 billion on that.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's just like the user base they think is worth that much, or like the technology itself, but...
Well, the thing is, like, most of the technology that Discord is built on is open source. For voice, it uses an open source voice codec. It uses Opus Audio, which is done by the Ziff Foundation, XIPH. For video, they, as far as I understand it, use an open source implementation of H.265, high compression, high quality video, which is very bandwidth friendly. Like, the whole thing is, it's a very bandwidth friendly app that has rich content sharing on its chat side, and it is a functional meeting space for a lot of groups. I mean, there are streaming services, content creators, and games communities. There are communities for any number of things that you can think of. And you can have a static page in the text-only channels. Like, it's a very flexible platform. But I guess the value would have to be user data, right? Or, like, how it's utilized.
That's another thing I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if everything else is also, like, open source, they could just make it themselves. But yeah, I guess it's just, like, the notoriety of it, like, the user base that exists.
Yeah, I don't know if anything on the back end is necessarily unique. It's just a cloud-hosted communications platform. But
that's in high demand.
It's an extremely high demand, but I believe... Because it can't be the monetization model, right? Because, like, they have Discord Nitro, which, honestly, full disclosure, I'm not too deep on, like, the premium features. I know, like, with the basic Nitro, you can stream up to 1080p, 60 frames per second. You have to have it for 60 frames a second of any video quality for streaming into Discord. And there are other things that it gets for your servers. Again, I stick to small Discord servers, so I'm not familiar with all that, but the monetization model is a pay-what-you-want kind of deal. So I can't imagine it's the monetization. I can't imagine it's the technology. It has to be, like, just the notoriety and the user base, but like, after what happened with Skype, do you think people would stick around if the purchase goes through? If the acquisition actually happens? Would you stick around?
I'd at least try, but, I just...
see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know, because at this point, there's not, like, a ton of good alternatives. Because you, like, do Zoom or, like, Google's thing, which is, like, kind of hanging on.
Yeah, Hangouts isn't really doing much, and Meets isn't great.
So, for us that may not be fully up to speed on what Microsoft's done to Skype, could you paraphrase that for us?
So, who of us used Skype before 2010?
Me.
Let's all raise our hands.
Okay. So,
one time.
Saying an AO.
So yeah, Microsoft bought Skype in 2011. Do you guys remember what immediately changed? Like, right after the purchase was finalized and they started working for Microsoft?
Not at all.
No, I was busy with school.
Yeah, we were using something else.
User interface started changing, like, every couple of years, or, like, something different would come up every couple of updates. It started being impossible to close. That was a big one. Where you would try to exit it, but it would always hide on the taskbar, and then even right-clicking on the taskbar, they had so many different words for exit, quit, close, and none of them ever seemed to work. Like, I generally had to kill Skype through the task manager. It's like it always wanted to run. It started being less performant. It started hogging more system resources, because they were trying to push newer features that the hardware that most people had wasn't built for, because people weren't buying new hardware very rapidly. And overall, the user experience reportedly kept getting worse and worse and worse. And that was my experience with it. I stopped using Skype in 2013. I think it was the last time I used it. Moved back to things like TeamSpeak. But MSN Messenger had already been destroyed by that point before the acquisition of Skype. And other Microsoft purchases that were ruined. And this is what I think is probably most likely to happen with it. They acquired GitHub a few years back, which is a open source code and project publishing platform for developers. The first thing they did was strip away all anonymity by making you register with your real name, all of that, making you link your real world identity with your GitHub identity, which is not desirable for a lot of people because they just want to remain anonymous, and for any number of reasons. It could be, I'm new to this and I don't want my name on this because I know I'm still learning, to I would rather not be credited for this work because this is stuff I'm doing for free. My work, I might have some agreement with a company that I worked for that says I'm not allowed to do this, blah, blah, blah. Like, there are a lot of sides to why people want anonymity, but they immediately started gathering all this data that people didn't want to give up. People left GitHub. And my fear is that Microsoft would do that. I would suddenly have to put in all of my personal identifying information into the application, and that would link me to my Discord ID. Like, I'm not a fan of social media anyway, but I don't want another thing where my real world identity is directly tied to it. I prefer to be like, this is my username, this is my email address, that's all you need to know about me. Because especially on a platform like Discord, where if you're in these bigger servers, you're talking to people you don't know. And the fact that there would even be an API that could potentially get breached and start identifying users, I'm not comfortable with that. But again, it depends on how usable the service is, I think, at the end of the day. Because, go ahead. Sorry.
No, yeah, because it'll definitely be interesting, like you're saying, like those bigger servers. Because I know, like, a lot of the podcasts I listen to that have, like, a Patreon tier, they're like, oh, at, like, the highest tier, you can, like, talk directly to the people that make it.
Yeah.
By joining, like, a private Patreon. But obviously, when you go on there, it's just your username, like you are on, like, Reddit.
Yeah.
People don't know who that person actually is. It's just another username.
Yeah, it's at your discretion. You're giving up that information at your discretion, not being forced to use the platform in the first place. There's an important distinction there.
Like, link it to your Microsoft account, which is what's going to happen.
That would be the worst. I don't know. Because, like, I've made certain concessions about identifying information with, like, Google. I've been using Gmail since, 2005, 2004. Like, I know they have my information. That's something I gave up on a long time ago. But I've elected to keep using that. And that's my decision. To have a platform, because, like, it makes sense for my identity to be tied to my email to a certain degree. So I could accept that. But when it comes to something where I might hop on, say, the Discord server for a content creator I follow and want to interact with people, I don't want my identity tied to that. I would like to retain my anonymity there. Or at least have the choice.
Right.
So, online privacy is something that a lot of people have a lot of feelings about. And at the end of the day, I do think users should have more discretion to make the decision about they want to disclose. Like, part of making that decision is signing up to use a service or make an account on a platform in the first place. But when you're on a platform and then the rules get changed on you, that kind of really sucks.
Yeah.
Well, it always sucks if the rules of the game change in the middle of playing. So, just by that standard, yeah.
Yeah. In less depressing things, if you guys will indulge me a moment. Kyle, I know you've seen this. Sarah, I know you've heard about this, but did you guys see what happened over the past couple of weeks on YouTube?
Not specifically, I don't think.
Okay. I'm being intentionally vague. So, a couple of years ago, a physics major calculated in response to a post on the subreddit No Stupid Questions.
Oh.
If kinetic energy is converted to thermal energy, how hard do I have to slap a chicken to cook it? And the result was somewhere in the ballpark of 3,700 miles an hour. So over the past couple of months, YouTuber Louis Wise, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Weisz, successfully did cook a chicken by slapping it repeatedly, not at 3,800 miles an hour, but by making a contraption that is called, and this is not a joke, the Meat Beater 9001.
It's over 9,000.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with that. But
It's a meme machine if I've ever heard one.
It is a feat of engineering. He did manage to successfully cook a steak to medium rare, and he ate it, and then did successfully cook a chicken. The key points were a machine with an arm that just continually slaps the thing with a cutting board on it. The meat was contained in a vacuum-sealed bag and insulated with a layer of aerogel, so the energy that was converted to thermal energy had too much surface area to be able to escape easily.
Dang.
And yeah, he's been doing this for months. He had a failed attempt a couple of months ago. Like, this project alone got this dude mad subscriber counts. He went from having around 8,000 subs before starting this to having near 500,000 at the time of the recording. He's at 451,000 subscribers. He's got a bunch of great content outside of the chicken slapper, as I will refer to it now.
Man, this Pinnacle brought out some crazy projects.
Like, this kid's done other stuff
man.
like testing the physics of the Minecraft boat, or testing paper armor. He's done a lot of other stuff, but he actually managed to cook a chicken by just hitting it a bunch. And I thought that is noteworthy at minimum.
Did he describe the taste and the texture?
He did, of the steak, which is what he did eat. And he said if you can get past the texture, it's good. However, due to the nature of the steak being cooked by literally being pulverized, he said the texture was that of being pre-chewed, which isn't great. Not a good mouthfeel. If you can get past that, the flavor is good.
You're used to that.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get to essentially the particles of the meat hitting each other over and over and just breaking down. Yeah.
This tastes like Mom's cooking.
But it reminded me of that. What's the YouTuber who makes the stupid contraptions that don't work right? Like pouring a glass of wine.
Yes. Wait, which one? Are you talking about Simone Giertz or the dude?
Yeah, Simone.
I think I've heard her. I think she did a TED Talk. It was really good.
Yeah, she works with Adam Savage of Mythbusters fame on the Tested channel.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like a combination between her and Mark Rober, who does really serious fun science projects, but actually tries to apply science and teach through it. Yeah, it's a half step between that and Useless Robots, which is Simone Giertz's thing.
Mark Rober is the guy who did the glitter bomb packages, right?
Yes, and he also
he did the Pinewood Derby cars.
Yeah,
right.
Yes.
Yep.
We talked about
the mousetrap car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did one where he's
no, that's right. Yeah, he did the Pinewood Derby car, but I think he has one out now for a mousetrap car as well.
Oh yeah, it's another common science competition. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they're all in the same kind of ballpark.
I know he engineered for the Australian YouTube channel How Ridiculous, which does a bunch of stuff, mainly relating to sports and dropping stuff off of a 45-meter high tower. He built He built for them the world's largest trampoline, which they bounced a boat and a plane off of. Biplane, but Mark Rober does a bunch of cool stuff like this. Yeah, this kid's a half step between that. He made a shirt that when you get hit in dodgeball shocks the crap out of you.
Why?
Making dodgeball more painful because it's not as painful as it looks in the movies.
Dodgeball's already bad.
Yeah, we'll just put that on a...
It's It's the Get Good trainer shirt.
That's what you need for your laser tag.
The Get Good 9001.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
9002.
Yeah, I will link this dude's YouTube channel, specifically this, I cooked a chicken by slapping it. But he's, like, I equate this to, like, more like a replacement for Mythbusters is a lot of what he does is, like, I had a question, and he seeks to answer it with engineering and science. What do you got? I'm really deep into, like, this type of engineering, science-based YouTube, like, testing stuff like this. And, I mean, the Mythbusters obviously had an impact on a generation, because now, you know, about 20 years after Mythbusters aired, you've got a lot of YouTubers doing stuff like that. And I do appreciate the, answering of the questions, how many times do you have to slap a chicken to, cook it? And it's over 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Beating that
With
meat.
their apparatus. Yeah. I do like that, like the sincerity of actually answering it as opposed to some guy like, that's a dumb question. Why would you ask that?
Yeah, no, it makes for good quality content, and the engineering is impressive, and when you've got a good presenter who, like, explains why everything works the way it does, and, you know, they're showing their work in a way that is easily understandable to the layperson, I think it's a really valuable thing.
So,
Right.
did he explain why he didn't eat the chicken?
Because he doesn't like chicken that much is basically what it came down to. Also, the chicken tended to break down more. The steak was a lot thinner and didn't have bone inside to get crushed, so there's also that aspect of it.
So he should have tried with, like, a cut of chicken, not, like,
Oh,
all
no, he did a whole chicken. And in the first video, he basically the chicken turned into chicken paste. Hence the insulation and the vacuum sealed bag and those measures. And he did try to make it the impact less damaging. That was a part of the engineering that went into it. It's so impressive. The funniest part of this is he did tweet at Gordon Ramsay about the steak.
Oh.
I did remember seeing that as soon as he posted it. He was all over Twitter. Hey, Gordon Ramsay, you need to try this.
Or look at it,
Look
yeah.
what I did.
Yeah, it's very, very funny.
I'm sure he grilled him. That was great. So are you saying that this guy made mechanically separated chicken?
I guess so. Or
gross.
Or I guess mechanically reattached chicken. Like I don't know what you'd call that.
Put that chicken back together again.
Right.
Mechanically
form
compact
it into
chicken.
a chicken. You just form it into a chicken shape.
Yeah, back to like what you said about the chicken versus the steak. I can see like you can eat beef raw and it's relatively safe compared to chicken. So I could see just not wanting to try chicken even if you're pretty sure it's cooked.
Yeah, and a lot of it was finding the right cooking method, because like you can get it up to a certain temperature. Like if you cook at a higher temperature, you have a lower cook time. So he went for the sustained lower temperature that you could cook it at for the length of time, and adjusted the level of impact to make that temperature maintainable over an amount of time without destroying the subject, being forcefully heated.
Right.
Impact heated.
Man, that texture just reminds me of something Kyle said an episode or two ago about we regurgitate the information so you don't have to.
Oh, yeah, the intro for the cold open for episode 12, yeah.
Regurgitate the information and bring it to you.
Yep.
Which we're still doing.
Yep.
Now, could they apply the this method of cooking with the 3D printed meat that Jake brought up?
Probably.
Because they could make it a shape that's easily slappable. Make it hand shaped.
Yes! Easily slappable.
Here's a hand steak!
It'd probably be better if it was just like to cook it, you just make two different meat hands and just slap them together and they both cook.
Slap a burger.
It's like the little noisy clacker toy with the hands, but for meat.
Yeah, the thing that you get like for 5 tickets at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
For sure.
Just call it the Slap-a-Burger. That's all it is.
Slap-a-burger.
Or the
Yeah.
Or the slapper.
This meat's a real hit.
The only negative to trying to do that was you would have to construct the meat in such a way that it's like for rigidity. So like
impact
Yes.
probably had to
resistant.
make like polyhedron kind of thing, or like a
sinewy.
lots of triangles everywhere.
Yes, I would like my beef patty in the shape of a D20, please.
I need a hexagon because that's the bestagon.
God, this is just gonna be like, oh yeah, the whole modern like culinary, like, ooh, it's a foam, and now it's gonna be like, this is slapped meat, or
I'll have my meat
Just maybe
slapped well done, please. Or slapped
right, or like
medium rare.
this steak was thrown to the atmosphere and burned up on re-entry. It tastes
Hey, as long as it tastes better than fondant, I'll try it.
oh fondants. A crime against food.
How would you like your
Yes,
meat
please
heated?
bring-
Slaps, fire, or atmospheric reentry? I'll take it slapped, please.
Right.
Please bring me my meat decagon.
It's out of this world.
Oh, God.
Today we're serving mystery polygon meat.
Here's your non-Euclidean burger, sir.
Oh no. Reference.
Oh, it got slapped too long. Now it's non-Newtonian.
Yeah, just sending stuff back because it hasn't been slapped enough. Like,
Yeah, I ate it. Now it's non-existent.
Non-Newtonian burger is the worst thing.
This story has a tragic ending.
the guy not tagged like that Salt Bay guy, because like there's a video of him like slapping a steak, right?
Just speed
You know what
that
I'm
video
talking
up,
about.
like repeat it and speed up that video. So he's just going.
That is the one issue I took with this design, is that he had the chicken laying flat. It does seem like it would be more efficient if you could like hang it like with two strings so it stays stable and just slap it back and forth. Like you get more slapping, more kinetic energy turned into thermal that way, right?
Or do it like on a spit like Euro meat, where you got slaps on all sides. Or a rotisserie slapper.
The rotisserie slapper, new from General Electric.
Yeah.
I swear there was something in Looney Tunes where it was like a bunch of hands on a roller. So like something like that where the meat's on the spit and then it's got another roller that's just constantly slapping it.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
actually
And
one
there's
of
like a
the
bicycle
designs.
chain on it. That's
I
so
remember that
funny.
design.
Oh, look at that. I'm an engineer now.
Yeah, that
Yes.
was
That
one of
was
the
the one that
earliest
didn't
designs
work.
they tried with like rubber flaps, but I don't remember why it failed.
I mean,
Oh.
it just
car
Everything
wash.
kept breaking at the connector joint.
That's right.
there was that, but they did finally get it to work, and it just destroyed the chicken before.
Yeah,
it
that's
anywhere
the other
close.
thing, is it would, because of the degree of the slap, it would just grind a cavern right down the middle of the chicken.
Yep, it
where it
was
was
a chicken
impacting.
cavern. Yeah.
Pre-carved chicken, easy to serve.
So I wonder if like Capcom's gonna sue him because like they trademarked E Honda's like 10,000 hand like slap.
But it's
move.
100,000
You know what I'm talking
slaps.
about?
It's
Yes.
obviously
Legitimate
different. I
cooking
multiplied it by
method.
10.
Yes.
No, it's only 9,001. We're good.
Right. And
Betty Crocker
It's
has joined the chat.
oh no. And Arby's is like,
Can we get Paula
We
Dean in
have
here and
new
we'll get some real
marketing.
good
Those are
flavor?
my meats. I'm Arby's.
we beat the meats.
Really fast.
So you don't have to. Please don't do that here.
Gross.
It just takes a lot longer. Yeah, you're going to have to wait in line, sir.
Oh.
You'll wait now for your burger, but it will be well processed.
Well beat.
We started this an hour ago. We got about 5 minutes left.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
God.
Slapped to order, huh?
Slap
Yeah.
to order.
We don't slap it till you order it. Why does every fast food slogan work for this? No, I don't like
Because it was
this.
destined.
Ba 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 ba. I'm slapping it.
Slapping is the
Oh, no.
Those burgers are so thin, they'll just take a couple
Slap
minutes.
fresh.
We're not a restaurant. We're a slapperant.
Taco Bell, slap moss.
Slap boss.
That fourth slap.
Slap.
Yeah. Good eats, cool slaps.
My
Oh, I thought
favorite
the
Taco
point was
Bell
their
item,
hot
the cheesy
slaps.
gordita slap.
Oh, maybe it's hot slaps. I don't know.
Hot beats cold treats.
Oh,
Oh no.
No.
No, we're gonna
I
edit that
don't
one
like
out.
this.
Oh no.
Hot slaps, cold snacks.
We're stuck in a slapping vortex.
Hot slaps, long naps.
The longest
Oh,
nap.
that sounds like a.
The last
I'm not even going
nap.
to say what that sounds like. All right, moving on.
All right. Yeah. I'm uncomfortable now. How about you guys?
Perfect. That's just where I want everybody to be when I go into my segment.
Doing great. Your turn.
Okay. So yeah, I had something I wanted to do, but I'm going to start off with something that was related to it. Because I kind of went down another Google rabbit hole trying to figure out like what the first band name was, like the Beatles or the Beach Boys.
Oh, okay.
And it was actually, I did not figure out the answer because it's like inconclusive. But the history was like kind of interesting because like the first music groups like back in like the 1700s, I mean, they usually be named after like the town they were in. Like an example I saw was like the Vienna Opera Orchestra.
Like the London
Or like-
Philharmonic.
Yeah, or like after a church, like the St. Mary's Choir.
Yeah.
And then after like that, when you'd have like composers, it would just be like, this composer is playing here, or, you know,
Mm-hmm.
or conducting this orchestra. And then going into like the 1800s, you would have like a single like musician, like, let's see here, Franz Liszt. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Yeah, Franz Liszt.
You know,
Yeah.
Or like Chopin, you know, like
Yeah.
this really good pianist or like cello player. And I mean, that looked like that kind of like continued.
Like solo
Like even,
artists
like,
being the big thing.
Yeah, or even like with like jazz performers, it'd be like Count Basie and his orchestra,
Mm-hmm.
or like Charlie Parker and their group.
Duke Ellington.
band.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it really wasn't until like the late, and even up to like Elvis, like you didn't have like a band, it was just Elvis.
Yeah.
And people would play with them as he toured around.
Yeah, it's like he didn't have a consistent band, right? Elvis.
No, yeah. And even if you did, like they wouldn't market it as like under one name. It was just Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
I think maybe the closest is like, you know, like some of the doo-wop groups of like the 50s and such.
Yeah.
Like that might be the closest. You get stuff like the Temptations and
Temptations,
things like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's like what most of us seem like, yeah, the Temptations, and then like people like really crediting like the Beatles was like the first big band name, where it wasn't like the people's names in the group that people cared about, it was just the band.
Like, I have to
So, yeah, I
imagine,
just-
like, this is baseless, but, like, I have to imagine it would have started, like, around the same time, like, sporting teams started getting names, like, in the late 1800s, early 1900s, like, you know, St. Louis Browns is something we're familiar with, like, Browns is just, it's just Browns, it's, like, just a thing. Although I guess, like, sports teams are usually named after a feature of the town.
Mm-hmm.
Just ignore me.
No,
Okay.
no,
Which,
no.
I mean, they used to be,
That
and there's like
tracks.
so many different like types of sports. They just had to make up stuff. But yeah, like because there used to be more than just like the White Sox and the Red Sox. There's like a whole bunch of different teams that just went by.
Yeah, they had pink and purple socks. And
Right, and brown socks.
rainbow socks.
Rainbow. Yes.
There's
blue
so many
socks.
different
But
sock
everything was
types. Oh
black
my
and
Dark
white then.
socks.
How can you do that?
Mm,
Count the stripes.
the toe
Wesco?
socks, you know.
Yeah. The ankle socks, the no-show
toe
socks.
socks.
Crew cut
They
socks.
just never
Oh,
showed
the
up
toe
to the
socks.
game.
Ugh.
The no socks, no service socks.
I'm sorry. I
But yeah.
massively derailed that. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Because, yeah, it was just kind of like, I couldn't figure out anything. And there's like people like speculating, but no real like conclusive answer. But it led me to something I came up with, which is, if you'll indulge me, a quiz.
Oh, okay.
Do we want to have a fun play-at-home quiz? Everybody always loves these segments when they're on podcasts.
I'm down for it. Let's go.
Test your knowledge. See if you're smarter than us.
I'm not there like those other podcasters.
All right, so kind of related to the band names I have, and I'm going to go around in the order I see you guys. So Kyle, Sarah, Dylan.
Okay.
So Kyle, you're going to start.
Okay.
And I'm going to name 3 things, and you have to tell me which one is a indie band name.
Oh, jeez.
Which one is a romance novel title, and which one is something I just made up.
So are you going to say one thing, and it's going to be in one of those 3 categories, or are there actually 3 things and I have to sort them? Yeah,
there's 3 things and you have to sort them, and they'll fall into one of those categories.
Okay.
So one of them will be an actual indie band name, one will be a romance novel title.
Yeah,
and
do
one
we
will be
each get different ones?
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Yeah, so I'm going to go around.
Nice.
Yeah, I have like 9 different rows.
Do you have a name for this segment,
each
Jake?
person.
I need to know.
I do not.
Sort that crap. No.
None of these things are at all like the other.
Right. Yes. Title
With
in
Jake.
progress.
1.0.
Untitled.
Jake wanted to do a quiz instead of research.
I'm here for it. Let's go.
Okay, Kyle.
Sure.
So, and I'm going to do, if you get 1 right, you'll get a point. And then if you get them all right, I'll give you 2 points, because you can't, if you get 2 right, you're going to get 3 right, since they fall into
sense.
one of the
No, that makes
categories.
sense.
Or actually, who cares about points? It'll just be fun.
No, points.
We want
competitive
points.
here.
This isn't Whose Line.
Okay, so first one is Lust for the Abyss. The second one is I Love You, But I've Chosen Darkness. And the third one is Moonshadow. And I can read them again if you want me to.
What was the first one?
Lust for the Abyss. I Love You, But I've Chosen Darkness is the second one. And Moonshadow is the third one.
Okay.
Which one of those is a romance novel, indie band, or something I made up?
I Love You, But I Choose Darkness. I'm going to go for the indie band.
Okay.
I'm going to do... crap, I totally forgot what the first one was again. But Moonshadow for the thing you made up.
Okay.
And I'm going to... And whatever that first one was... for the romance.
Lust for the Abyss.
Lust for the Abyss, yeah.
Can I try to steal?
I'm going...
Can we steal?
I'm going to flub this so hard, but hey, points.
Well, So what you said, okay, yeah, I got your point. So you guys can just say what you think it is, but I already have Kyle's points.
I think Lust for the Abyss is the thing you made up. Or the indie band.
Well,
I don't think it's the title of a romance
Well,
novel.
no, if you're going to try to steal, you gotta be...
I'm going to go ahead and say
you gotta pick.
that one is the indie band,
Be
and the
decisive.
I Love You, But I Choose Darkness is the thing you made up.
I say Moonshadow is the indie band, Lust for the Abyss is the romance novel, and I Love You, But I Choose Darkness is the stuff you made up.
Okay, I don't think any of you got it right.
Yeah!
Kyle gets 1 point.
I get 1 point, yeah!
What? Okay, you gotta tell us
I
what
love
was
you,
which.
I Love You, But I've Chosen Darkness was the indie band name. Lust for the Abyss was what I made up, and Moonshadow was the romance novel.
I was debating between those two,
This is
but hey,
very
I'll take the
good.
point.
So Kyle gets 1 point. All right, Sarah, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. The first one is The Captive.
The Captive.
Then The Peach. And then The Sky.
The Captive, The Peach, and the Sky.
Yeah, and those are all different things, not one awesome title that would be a good name for a book.
That would be an awesome title,
I mean,
yes.
that sounds like James and the Giant Peach right there.
Yeah, well, that's
Just-
true.
that's-
Yeah.
The Captive
What is that, a
and
red
the Sky
herring?
and a peach.
Unfortunately, I believe that The Captive is the romance novel.
Okay.
The Sky is the indie band and the peach you made up.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah!
2 points. Yeah, I guess sadly the captive is the romance novel, so.
Yeah, I remember stalking the bookstore as a kid, family's bookstore, and some of those romance novels had strange titles that I did not understand at the age of 7, and it's just a little traumatic. So I don't discount any romance titles. They're out there.
So
Yeah.
shouldn't have
Not
been-
gonna yuck on anyone's yum, but
No.
not
Yeah, that's
mine.
what started me down this, is seeing like a listicle of the like 25 stupidest romance novel names.
I love it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm here for it. Hit me with it.
Jeez. All your points are belong to
so
us, Sarah.
Dylan. So the first one is Tonight or Never. The second one is I Killed the Prom Queen. And the third one is Angel in Scarlet.
Okay, I Killed the Prom Queen is definitely the band name. That's an indie band
Okay.
name. What was the first item again?
Tonight or Never.
That's the romance novel. Yeah. And then the third, whatever you
okay.
said, is the thing you made up.
Okay. You got 1 point.
Dang it, which one did I get
Angel in
right?
Scarlet. You got I Killed the Prom Queen is the indie band name, which is, yeah. I don't know how that could be a romance novel, so maybe that wasn't a good one. But anyways,
It's just a murder mystery.
kind of fit in like the theme.
It
so,
did,
yeah.
so-
It's already solved.
Angel in Scarlet was the romance novel, and Tonight or Never was my made-up romance novel.
Kind
What was
of
your
not
made-up
great.
Bond
Name.
movie?
Little pressure much?
Yeah,
No thanks.
That's what I was gonna say.
Never.
No.
You can always say no. Never is okay.
It's the name of Jake's next Bond movie.
That would make a
Yeah, all
great
these.
Bond movie name.
I'm
Tonight or Never
composing
would
the
be a great
theme
Bond
now.
movie name. Yes.
Sky Peach.
Sky Peaches.
The captive, the sky, the peach.
Tomorrow or never.
It's like different yoga poses. The Peach. The Captive.
The
Okay,
captive.
Kyle, are
This
you ready
one,
for
you
your
need your
next
partner.
one?
Oh, you got more than one for each of us? Hell yes.
Is that okay?
Why
Yes.
not?
Yes, bring it.
Bring
I got
it
6
on.
more rounds.
I'm
if that's
not
okay.
going to beat Sarah, but
Wait, 6
Bring it
more
on.
rounds?
Yeah, like I had,
items.
yeah. 6
Like 2
sets.
for each of us.
Yeah, I had like 3 rounds for each.
Gotcha,
of you.
gotcha.
oh, that's good. Yeah.
That's fine.
We can cut it down later.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
This stays.
This is
Cut,
going to be
cut.
uncut.
Uncut gems.
Raw
its own
and
episode.
uncut.
Okay, Kyle.
Mm.
So, romance novel, indie band, something I made up. First one is, and also the trees. 2 ways today, and risking it all.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry,
Kyle's face palming so hard right now.
Kyle's not laughing.
You broke Kyle!
They all sound made up.
Well, somebody
And
made
also
this up.
the trees. We have
Also the trees. 2 ways today,
2 ways today.
and risking it all.
Risking it all just like sounds like an 80s song.
Probably is.
By Cyndi Lauper.
And we were risking it all.
Oh my gosh.
Time after time.
I'm gonna flop so hard on this, so I'm
Oh,
just gonna
don't
go
worry
ahead
about it.
and
It's just
throw
for fun.
some into spots where they don't belong. I'm gonna go 2 ways to today. Is the indie band. I'm gonna go
Okay.
for and also the trees is the book.
It's the book. Okay. 0 correct.
Thought so.
Oh no, what was what?
Can I guess that 2 ways today is the romance novel, Risking It All is the band, and you made up, and also the trees?
I'm going to flip your guesses, Sarah. I think
Well,
Risking
you're
It
gonna have
All
to,
is...
'cause-
I think Risking It All is the novel. I think ways today is the thing you made up. And what the other one is the indie band.
And also the trees.
And also the trees.
Yeah,
is the indie band.
that was right. Yes. So Kyle got 0 points.
I'm sorry, we're only following up Kyle's, and I feel really bad now.
Oh no, it's okay.
I deserve it.
Okay, Sarah.
Bring it.
The first one is By the Chalkboard.
By the chalkboard.
The second one is No Use for a Name.
Nice.
And the last one is Hot Island Nights.
That one is the romance novel Hot Island Nights.
Okay.
What were the first two?
By the Chalkboard and No Use for a Name.
No Use for a Name is the indie band.
Jeez,
And you made
Sarah
up By
is
the Chalkboard.
getting another perfect score.
Oh,
Woo!
God, Sarah's crushing it.
Does your
Dylan's really
work
good at the ones that aren't his.
I'm always best at the things that don't count for anything for me.
Yeah. I mean, what?
Ouch. Truth hurts.
Hey, you said it, not me.
That's fair.
Okay, Dylan. The first one is Silent Heart.
Okay.
And then the second one is The Deepest Well. And the third one is Black Veil Bride.
Black Veil Bride is the band.
Okay.
What was the first thing again?
Silent Heart.
Silent Heart's the romance novel.
Oh, he got all of them right.
Dang it, if I would have had that one, I would have gotten that. Oh my gosh.
Well, show up somewhere different on my Discord screen next time.
No, the truth of it, Kyle, is he's just giving you the hardest ones on purpose because of sibling rivalry. He wants you to lose.
Yeah, that's how
I
I
know.
set this up.
This is revenge for all those Mario Party games, Kyle.
Oh.
You were too good. He's getting you back.
Well, it backfired on you. I got 1 point. Haha.
Yeah, and
You're playing
this
this foil.
round is for all the points. Just kidding, that's not fair.
This plan.
Let's see if you can
this one I can lose points.
Let's see this one. All right, Kyle. So, Saturday looks good to me. Sense of Destiny, and maybe next time. So bad.
This is just awful.
You can do it.
Do you want me to read them again?
Yes.
Okay, Saturday looks good to me. Sense of Destiny, maybe next time.
Is it a sense like
SENSE,
That's
like
it.
sense of touch.
and
But does it really matter?
no, because I will never. I pale in comparison. Sense of Destiny is going to be the book.
Okay.
Was it maybe next time or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
I'll do that as the band.
Okay. You got 1 point.
Yay! I didn't flop.
Well, Saturday looks good to me is the band.
Yeah, of course.
Really?
Of course it is.
Maybe next time is what I made up, and Sense of Destiny is the book, which Kyle got correct.
Yay!
Okay, Sarah. Let's do. The first one is The Secret Grove.
Okay.
The second one is The History of Apple Pie. And the third one is Orchard Valley.
Orchard Valley is the book.
Okay.
It was The History of Apple Pie, and the first one was what?
The Secret Grove.
It was History of Apple Pie is the indie band.
Sarah is too good at this.
Jeez.
All three correct.
Perfect score.
Nice!
I can't
All right, good
win,
night,
but
everyone.
I can
We're
try
done.
to not fail.
Sorry!
This is for some of the marbles, Dylan.
Okay. Yes, this is for some marbles.
This is for a few.
This is for beating Kyle by a little or beating Kyle by a lot?
This is for upwards
Just
of
kidding,
5
Kyle.
marbles.
Okay. First one is Automatic Love Letter. The second one is From the Door to the Window. And the third one is Tied Up, Tied Down.
Okay, Tied Up, Tied Down is the novel, and Automatic Love Letter is the indie band.
Yay! So Kyle did get all the hard
Marbles.
ones.
So what was the final score?
Okay, let me tabulate it up. Sarah wins.
Well, we knew that.
Yay!
No,
I just want to know how bad I whipped Kyle.
So, by my points, Sarah got 6, you got 5, and Kyle got 2.
GG.
Well
Thank you
played.
for
That was
playing.
fun.
And then insert the name here. What we decided.
No need for name.
I already made up enough names for this stupid game.
That was well put together, and I do like the idea of having quizzes of some variety. I think I want to do a trivia thing at some point, but I also think that's going to do it for us this time. So thank you for listening to We Might Be Nerds. Thank you for joining us today, giving us your time. We've certainly had a lot of fun recording this, and we're hoping you have fun listening. You can find the show notes at wemightbenerds.com. We can be found on social media at MightBeNerdsPod on Twitter and Facebook, or you can email us at wemightbenerdspod@gmail.com. And I think that just about does it. Oh, we did, last episode we did talk about the Goosebumps game. Again, we have published our playthrough of that to our YouTube channel. So search for Escape from Horror Land, and we'll be on there. I probably do need to, we'll post that to our social media channels as well, so just look for it there. And it'll be in the show notes. I don't have a good link for our YouTube channel yet, so before we go, any plugs for this week, other than the stuff we've already plugged and talked about?
Yeah, if you're ever looking for some art to indulge in, whether to just scroll through and peruse or to commission some art, check out Hourglass Artist on Instagram. Also, check her followers as well. She follows a lot of other really great artists that you can peruse and commission if that strikes your fancy. But she's really cool. They're really cool people, and artists can use your help. Get some art.
All right, love it. And I can confirm her art is great.
I am very biased. She is my absolute favorite. And yeah, check her out.
If you are just a hobbyist or a budding enthusiast for roller coasters, there is a good YouTube channel that I came across. It's run by a guy who used to be a ride operator for two Six Flags parks, or Six Flags Park and another one. Guy goes by El Toro Ryan. It was one of the rides he operated was El Toro from one of the Six Flags parks. But nice. He goes in depth about certain roller coasters, actually most of the big ones. Some histories on the problematic roller coasters, ones that were built, immediately had problems to the point where they had to be torn down and stuff like that.
Oh, geez.
Just a lot of fun history, but he gets really technical into the physics parts of how some of these roller coasters work. So I don't know if you're an enthusiast of that sort, or just genuinely interested. El Toro Ryan on YouTube.
Love it. That sounds really fun.
And then I'll just go really quickly and based on Sarah's plug, the subreddit r/art, just because not most subreddits, but some subreddits can be kind of toxic, and that one is pretty fun and easygoing.
Non-toxic, like the paints.
Non-toxic, yes.
Yeah, use non-toxic paints.
Washable.
All right. One last plug. We did start a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/WeMightBeNerds. I don't know that we're going to stream with any regularity yet, but I think we could have a lot of fun streaming some of the games and stuff we play, because we do that on a regular basis. So go ahead and follow it. And if you're up late, like 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, that tends to be the time when we do things. So just keep an eye out. All right. Anything else? Have I forgotten anything? Because this outro never goes the same.
I think we're good.
All right.
So if you enjoyed this episode,
you might be a nerd too.
So are we not doing the names thing anymore?
Yeah.
I think we got to do that.
You said they're never the same.
Okay, well,
that's fair. Hey, I'll time shift that so it's after this part. Thank you for listening to We Might Be Nerds. I'm Dylan Critchfield.
I'm Kyle Montgomery.
I'm Sarah Critchfield.
And I'm Jacob Montgomery.
Broken Jake.
Just laughing.
Thank you for listening.
No, we broke Jake.
I'm Jacob Montgomery.
Are you Jake Montgomery? I think I'm Jake Montgomery.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
That's it. We'll see you next time.
Bye.